Hey team, how you going? Doing something a little different, a little new tonight. So actually a couple of things. So number one, we're coming directly to you from the Right Now Community Hub. So we've moved it over from my profile page to the hub, and this is where we'll be from now on for all of our writing, wine, and words of wisdom. The other thing is I don't have red wine. It's not actually wine, it's lemon water. I was out of wine, so it's kind of writing water and words of wisdom, but let's still rock forth. The other thing, you can see I'm in a bit of a different space. Normally I have a very set space where I'm on that kind of, really cool writers looking lounge, but I wanted to share something with you guys this time. So I've got my trusty little flip chart stuff here, and because I wanted to get a little bit visual with you guys. Now I'm going to preemptively say I'm not an artist. I've never claimed to be, so rock on. When you jump on, please say hi. If you're watching in the replay, just pop in there RP for replay and then say hi, so when I come back and check on this. And if you have any questions, please ask. So in tonight's writing, wine, and words of wisdom, I wanted to speak to you about something that I've discovered that, and I've spoken about this before, but one of the big questions I get, or one of the problems that comes up with new writers, is what do I write about? I don't know what to write about. And it's so funny because what happens, and everyone who's been through the program gets this, what happens is when you actually start the process of working out what you're going to include, you realize you actually know a crap load more than you think. And as I like to say, you know more than you think, and you feel more than you know, right? So you have so much to offer. And here's what happens. So people are like, I don't know that I have enough for a book. You have a lifetime. You have so much that you can put in a book. So then they start doing their book, and then they think that they need to share everything, like world. So for example, me, right? I'm 42, damn proud of it because I look good. I'm 42. 42 years of experience. I kind of think I've got a few books in me. That's not even worrying about going down the pathway of fiction. We're just talking about non-fiction right now. Okay? 42 years has given me so much knowledge and experience that I can definitely put into a lot of different books. 42 years back, whatever, 20 years. If you've been on this planet for 20 years, you have so much experience to pop in that book. Because here's the thing, every single one of us has our own life, our own experiences, and our own things that we can share, right? So if you're thinking, do I have enough to write a book? Yes. Now I want to address the other part I said a moment ago, which was that so many people, when they start writing their book, they think they need to put everything in. And this is the part that I want to show you visually, because I really think this is going to be important for a lot of you guys. And this is something that went into the current Elite 10 program. So I actually did a training on this recently that's about to go out to the Elite 10 guys. So if you're in the Elite 10 program, you're going to get a bit more on this as well. And I realized that this was so important that I decided to share it out with you tonight. So let's get to it. Now, the whole point of what I'm about to show you is choose. And remember, guys, I'm about options. I say this all the time. I'm not saying one way is right, one way is wrong. That's not it. These are options. But choose. Choose. Do you go wide or do you go deep? Don't go both. Don't go both, because you and your reader will drown. Now, let me visualize this for you, okay? So let's start, and again, like I've said, not an artist, right? Let's start with, just imagine we had a lake, okay? So this is going to be a really kind of weird looking lake. Rock on. So here's the edges of your lake, and then your lake goes down. Say we've got a really deep part, then your lake comes back up. Okay, so this is your lake bed. So let's pop in the water in your lake. Okay. So, most people, when they're writing their book, think that they need to share all of this with the with the reader. They think that, because this, if you imagine, this is a lake filled with your knowledge, your experience in just one area. Like, if you take everything that you know and everything that you've learned, you can fill a few hundred oceans. I'm just saying. But let's just stick with this one topic, okay? Just say it is, for argument's sake, let's say it's specifically your story. So if you feel like you need to share everything with the audience, problem is, hey Tony, how are you? The problem is, here's what happens. If you try and share the whole lake and you just throw that at them, they're going to drown in it, okay? And the worst thing is, let's even forget about the reader for the second. As you're trying to write it, if you're trying to share all of this, you're going to drown in it. This is what I recommend you do, and this is going to make more sense. When I say drowning in it, when I show you this next part, that's going to make more sense for you. This is what I recommend doing. Let's get a color that's a bit darker. Here we go. This is what I recommend. Instead of looking at the surface of your lake, go deep, right? And if you go deep, you've only got this part. So imagine this, okay? We're going to start at this part. Topic 1. We're going to end at this part. Topic 5. I trust you see where I'm going with this. So what you're doing is you're sharing a deep knowledge of 5 topics. So you're not doing a lot of topics, but you're going really deep on those topics. Your other option, let's see, hopefully, can we see this one? Yeah. Your other option is to go shallow, but wide. So you might have a lot more topics in there, and I won't put all the numbers in. So you might have a lot more chapters, but you're only touching the surface. You're only hitting the surface of the information. If you try to go wide and deep, can you see now how you're going to drown your reader and drown yourself? Thank you, Tony. Thank you. So go choose. This is what I mean by choose. Choose to go wide. Choose to do a lot of topics very shallow or a few topics very deep. If you do a lot of topics deep, you're going to hurt someone. Probably going to hurt yourself. And this is why so many people don't write their book, because so many people come in. Oh, let me correct that. This is why so many people don't finish their book, because they come in thinking they've got to do this. They've got to do all of this really deep, where there's nothing there. I trust you get that. So stop trying to do wide and deep. Choose. Am I going to go wide or am I going to go deep? Now, I personally, I prefer less and deep. I prefer going to that lower level. And here's what you'll find too. If you go with these, say 5, just say 5, say it's 5 chapters, right? And you go really deep. The deeper you go, the more you discover. You can write a whole book on each of those. They become their own lakes. And you can go deeper on all of those as well. If you go surface, guess what? Every chapter of that is another book that you can do that can go deeper. So I recommend, and again, remember this is about options, so rock forth, but my recommendation is take the wide, shallow option if you're doing something like a lead magnet or something as an overview, or if you plan on writing more books. If you're doing one book where you want people to make a transformational change, go deep. Go less, go deep. Yeah? Yep, me, wide, deep, broad, and tall. Tony, stop it. Choose. So would you prefer, Tony, based on what you're doing, would you prefer to go wide and shallow, just hit those top layers, or would you prefer to go a lot less information, but really deep and unpack the hell out of it? Because I trust that you can see that if you want to go deep and broad, deep and wide, it's too much information. Like where you are, and I think this is a really good point too. Where each of us is right now to be able to write a book, we've already had the lessons that we're sharing in the book. We've gone through it. We've had that experience. Think about how long it took you to get those experiences. So think for a moment, how long did it take you to fill up the lake? How long did it take you to get all of those experiences? And then you want to jam it into a book and expect your reader to get all of it like that? Not going to happen. Don't do that to them. Don't do it to yourself. Don't undervalue the journey that you took to get all of that experience and information and knowledge and wisdom. And don't do that to your reader who's come to you to solve a problem. And you're going to go, oh, you want a problem? I'll give you heaps more. Trust that makes sense. Deep. Yeah, Tony, I knew that. I knew that you would say deep, because that's from the interactions that we've had, I get that you would prefer to go deep. Deep is where the game is played to make a difference. Shallow is where the game is, shallow is where the game is played in marketing. This is marketing up here. Yeah? This is where you change the world. This is where you drown everyone, including yourself. Who else? Have we got anyone else that's jumped on? Let me know. Say hi. And Tony, do you have any questions, or anyone else that's jumped on? Do you have any questions all around this? Because this is something it's interesting. It's one of those things that I've known and I've implemented, but it was only in the question from someone where I started unpacking it and sharing it that I went, people need this. Like people need to know this, because this is why so many people don't get their book written, because they're drowning in their own work instead of, as I like to say, keep it simple, superstar. So KISS, keep it simple. I don't like the other one that they use. I like keep it simple, superstar. And the way that you keep it simple is, it's kind of, should I maths nerd on it? I could math nerd on it. I'll math nerd on it, but I'll minimize the math nerd on it. So the area, right? Oh my gosh, you're not going to be able to see anything on this picture when I'm done. Let's go with green. So the area in here and the area in here are going to be about the same amount of information. It's just, this is deeper information on less things. This is shallow information on a lot of things. But can you see the difference between that area and that area and that area? Like, that's a lot of books there. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah? No questions. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, Tony. And thanks for this. See the light. I'm so glad. That's why I decided to share this, because I knew that even if just somebody saw this and got that, it's going to make your life a crap load easier. And Tony, I'd love to know, do you feel now that that's going to help you on your journey with writing your book and taking that next step? Because I have a bit of a knowledge of what you're writing, and I'm assuming it's the same thing. I'm assuming it's still the same one that, like, I kind of did the cover for, etc. And if that is it, I'm really, really intrigued. And that is something you need to do here. You can't do it up there, and you certainly can't do it there. You need to go really deep and keep it really... The deeper you go, the less topics you want to use. Yeah? So for me, for instance, for The Human Concept, which is the one that's just been released, I have 5 chapters, and each chapter has 3 parts. That's it. That's it. So I have 5 chapters, and I've got 3 parts down here. So I've gone super duper deep on those 5. I could go a lot deeper. That's the thing, and that's what I was saying at the start of this. I can take each of those chapters, each of them, and I could go deeper again and create another book from each of them. And maybe I'll do that. Yeah. Tony, huge help. Excellent. And I have heaps of books. Yes, yes, you do. You do, because that's not a book. That's your life. That's your experience. That's everything that you know. That's not a book. What's a book is little components of what you know that you can give to someone else to help them grow their, like, ooh, that was good. Do that. So take a little bit of your lake and share it with someone else so that they can grow theirs. Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm going to keep this one nice and short and sweet, because I feel like this is epic, and I feel like this is enough. Yeah. I feel like this is something that is going to be really useful, especially some other people will jump on here and see this. And I know that you guys are going to get a lot out of it. So I'm going to leave it there. And I've got my writers meetup tonight, which is leaving my house. It's actually going back to its new home now. So out of my house, back to the new home, which means I now travel there to go and do my writers meetup and get my stickers. Yay! If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've missed that one in previous chats, just rock forth. Just rock forth and love it. So that is it. My absolute pleasure, Tony. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly, truly, really, really, really appreciate it. And you're amazing and awesome. So thank you so much. And any questions, please pop them in. I'll be coming back and checking in on this. So any questions that you have around this model, I guess it's a model. Yeah. Any questions around this that I've shared, let me know, and we shall rock forth from there. Apart from that, though, have a fantastic, fantastic night, and always, as always, rock forth with awesomeness. See yous.